All right, so hey everyone, welcome back to the deep dive. And today we were going like full-on breath nerd, right? For anyone out there really exploring the Buteyko method, this is going to be right up your alley.
Oh, absolutely. Whether you're just starting to kind of dip your toes into the whole, like how breathing impacts everything,
Hmm.
or you've already been practicing feeling some of those, like, those shifts that Buteyko can bring, this deep dive is really for you, for your journey with Buteyko.
Yeah, and it's interesting because we were looking at a bunch of material from the Buteyko Breathing Center, right? And a video they had on YouTube that was really insightful. And one of the things that really jumped out was this whole idea that changing your breathing patterns, it's not like a one and done kind of thing, It's like you're swimming upstream in a way.
It really is, and they use this phrase in the video, climbing out of the hyperventilation matrix, which I thought was so powerful because it really does feel like that sometimes, right, you're trying to create this new way of breathing,
Hmm.
but there's this whole, like, environment, this matrix that's kind of pulling you back to those old habits.
Yeah, totally. And that's exactly what we're diving into today with the Buteyko Breath Mastery and International Community Program.
Exactly. It's like having this ongoing support system, this place where you can actually dive deeper, understand more, and really optimize how you're breathing and how you're feeling all through the Buteyko method.
And that consistent support, right? I mean, that can be so key in any kind of practice, but especially with something like breathing, where it's so easy to fall back into those old patterns. It's like when I first went to university and I was trying to quit smoking, everyone around me was smoking. It was so hard.
Oh, I totally get that. It's like you're trying to learn a new language, but everyone around you is still speaking your native tongue. It's tough. And what's fascinating with Buteyko is even when we know the benefits, right? Even when we experience positive changes,
Mm.
it's like those old habits, those environmental cues, they're still there.
Yeah. Yeah. And the video actually shared the story about a Buteyko practitioner who had made huge progress with their asthma, like significantly better. But then when they stopped consciously focusing on their breathing, guess what happened? The symptoms started creeping back.
It's a reminder that this isn't a passive thing, right? It's an active practice that needs attention.
Absolutely. And I think even more telling was the example they gave in the video of someone who had been doing Buteyko for a while and they were really familiar with it, but then life happened, stress changes in routine, and boom, the snoring came back, the sleep apnea started up again.
Right? It's like all those lifestyle factors that can impact our breathing, they crept back in, and so did the symptoms.
Exactly. And I think that highlights why having that ongoing support, a community even, can be so crucial.
Yeah, that's where this breath mastery community comes in. And in the video, they described it as this mandala of peaceful breathing.
Oh, I love that image. So what does it actually mean to be part of this breath mastery program?
Well, think of it as a way to constantly be supported, to keep learning and being part of a community, all focused on Buteyko. And I think it's great timing because their website says registration is open right now for the second quarter of 2025.
Perfect timing. So let's talk benefits then. What can someone expect to gain from being part of this community?
Well, one of the big things they talk about on the website is improving your CO2 levels, which is like the core of Buteyko,
Yeah.
right? And they suggest that by getting those levels healthier and being in this supportive environment with the right resources, it can lead to some pretty amazing things.
Okay, like what kind of amazing things are we talking about?
Well, they mentioned things like better overall health and longevity, more energy throughout the day, feeling calmer, and having a clearer mind.
Those are pretty big ones right there.
Yeah, and it goes even deeper than that. They talk about a stronger mind-body connection, feeling more intuitive, needing less sleep, and even less food. Like what?
Wow, that's a whole lot of potential benefits. And I think it's really interesting how they emphasize the connection between these benefits and having the right resources and being part of a supportive community.
Right. It's like it's not just about doing the exercises, it's about the whole environment you're practicing in.
Okay, so how is this program actually structured? What's involved?
So they have these live online gatherings on Zoom, and each session has a different theme with specific instructions. But the cool thing is if you miss one, they have replays, so you don't have to worry about missing out.
Oh, that's handy.
Yeah, and then twice a month, they have these sessions where everyone practices the breathing exercises together. There's time for questions and check-ins. It's really interactive.
I bet that helps people stay on track and make sure they're doing everything correctly.
Definitely. And they also have these things called member hot seats,
Hmm.
where someone can share their personal experience, ask for specific guidance. It's like
Oh.
getting personalized attention.
Oh, that's nice. And what about outside of those live sessions?
Well, they have a closed online forum that's moderated, so it's a safe space for members to connect with each other, ask questions, share their experiences, It's a really great way to stay connected between sessions.
A forum is so good for that, those quick questions, or just feeling like you're part of something.
Absolutely. And they also have this huge library of resources, videos, audios, all related to Buteyko. So there's always something new to learn. And they even bring in guest speakers who are doing really inspiring things with the method and offer discounts on private sessions.
Wow, so it's like a constant stream of knowledge and inspiration.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And one thing I found really interesting on their website was how they talk about the main teacher being the group itself.
Oh, yeah, that caught my eye too. So how does that work?
So Sasha Yakovleva, she's the founder of the Buteyko Breathing Center, and she's a really experienced practitioner. She guides the group. But the idea is that everyone in the community is also a teacher. They all have their own unique experiences and insights to share.
So it's more like a collaborative learning experience than a traditional class.
Exactly at the start of each quarter, everyone sets their intentions together and makes a plan. And then they support each other along the way by sharing ideas, giving advice, offering feedback. It's really cool.
It sounds like a really powerful way to deepen your understanding and help others at the same time. Okay, so we've talked about the specifics of the program, but let's zoom out a bit. What are the bigger benefits of being part of a community like this?
Well, one of the main things is that it helps you avoid that feeling of isolation that can happen when you're trying to do something new on your own right. You're surrounded by this group of people who get it, who are on the same journey, and that can make a huge difference.
Absolutely. It's that whole idea of strength in numbers, right? And especially with something like changing your breathing habits, it's nice to know you're not alone.
Exactly. And another big benefit is that it helps you really dive deep into the method and stay committed to it over time. The regular sessions, the learning resources, the community interaction, it all provides that structure and accountability that so many of us need.
Yeah. And it also helps you avoid those common mistakes or setbacks that can happen when you're learning something new.
Right, because you have that guidance from experienced practitioners and you can learn from each other's experiences.
And you're connected to the source of the method itself, which I think is important.
Yeah, absolutely. It's about maintaining that authenticity. And the cool thing is members can actually contribute to how the method evolves. They're part of that process.
Okay, so who can join this breath mastery group? Are there any requirements?
They've actually made it really open. Anyone who's completed a level 1 Buteyko program can join.
So that could be a course, a workshop, even an online program.
Exactly. As long as you have that basic understanding of the principles, you're good to go.
Awesome. So it's really accessible, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
Now, is there any evidence that this program actually works, that people are getting value from it?
Well, on their website, they have a whole section with testimonials and stories from people who've been part of the Breath Mastery program. And they even have some videos of people sharing their experiences, which is really cool.
Yeah. And that YouTube video we were talking about earlier, it also touches on this idea of community impact.
Yeah, they talk about how as more people practice Buteyko and support each other, it actually becomes easier for new people to adopt the method. It's like creating a new matrix, a healthier one.
That's a really interesting concept. So, okay, for anyone listening who's thinking, this sounds like something I want to explore, what do they need to know, practically speaking?
So it's a quarterly subscription. You sign up for 3 months at a time, and it automatically renews on January 1st, April 1st, and October 1st. But there's a break during the summer months, July, August, and September. So no charges then.
Okay, so a little bit of built-in flexibility there. And what if someone needs to change their subscription?
You can cancel any time before the next renewal date. They don't give refunds for the current period, but you can pause your subscription if you need to.
So some options there. And what about the schedule for the upcoming quarter?
The live Zoom meetings for the second quarter of 2025 are on April 13th, April 27th, May 11th, May 25th, June 8th, and June 22nd, all on Sundays at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, and they usually last about 90 minutes.
So to wrap things up, this Buteyko Breath Mastery and International Community, it sounds like a really comprehensive and supportive resource for anyone who's serious about Buteyko, whether you're just starting out or you've been practicing for a while. It's got that mix of education, expert guidance, and connection that can make all the difference.
It really does, and it's all about empowering you to deepen your practice, stay consistent, navigate the challenges, and connect with a community of like-minded people, which is so important for reaching your goals with Buteyko.
So if you're listening to this right now, think about your own journey with Buteyko. What are you hoping to achieve? Are there areas where you're feeling stuck or maybe a little bit alone? Could this community and the structure and support it provides be the thing that helps you really take your practice to the next level?
It's a powerful question to ask yourself. And as you continue to explore the incredible potential of your breath, imagine how being part of a community dedicated to mindful breathing could not only transform your own health and well-being, but also contribute to a larger shift towards healthier breathing in the world around us. We encourage you to check out the Buteyko Breathing Center website to learn more about the Breath Mastery community and see if it's the right fit for you.
Absolutely. And as always, thanks for joining us on the deep dive.
It's been a pleasure.
We'll see you next time.
Bye, everyone.